Hello, screenwriters, and welcome to the Writing for Screens Screenwriting Step-by-Step Project, Episode 88. My name is Glenn Gers, and I come to you every Monday through Friday, if I can make it, at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, to walk you through the writing of a drama TV pilot script from rough idea through outline to rough draft, which is where we are now, and then into a polished draft, just to let you look over my shoulder and watch the process, because I am trying to demystify the process of writing a script. I am not saying this is the best way to do it. I am not saying it's the only way to do it. It's just the way I worked out during my 25-year career as a TV and movie writer here in Los Angeles, California. And now I'm trying to teach screenwriting, and I've noticed no one talks about what it's like to work on a script day by day, day to day, getting the damn thing written. They talk about how great this other script was going to be and how you should fit this formula, but nobody says this is the process by which you figure out scenes and work them onto the page and make them work as a reading experience. That's all we're doing, going through it a little bit at a time. Hello, Jonathan. Haven't seen you in a while. So I'm doing that live for what it's worth, hoping that it will teach you a little bit something about what it's like to take a blank page and make it into a script. Okay, let's get right down to it. Oh, if you want to ask me a question about what we're doing, or really anything, and you are not watching live, because most of you aren't, that's cool. You can still reach me. You can go to writingforscreens.com and you'll find a contact me button. They're just all over the place. On basically every page, somewhere down at the bottom there, it'll say contact me. And you can contact me. It will open up a little window. You write me an email. I will get the email. I will try to reply to it as soon as I can. And if for some reason you hate emails or you hate websites or you just are impatient and you want to do it right this very second, you can ask me a question here in the comments of this video or any video on my channel. That gets directly to me, and I will try to answer you ASAP. Hello, 99 Precinct. It's good to have you guys here. Let us get to it, because I did some work. I'm anxious to get this thing done because we are still a long way from that. We are talking months. So I did some work here on the outline, planning, figuring out the beats, because we've got these big sequences. I planned this pilot. We've structured this pilot with several big dialogue sequences as it builds to the end. This is the one with Madeline and Norman getting to know each other after so much has already happened to them, and they have slept together and they really don't know each other. So what I decided to do was go through this sequence and just figure out the beats. Oh, look at that. Maria's here. Hi, Maria. Good to see you. Welcome. Glad that you could make it. So what we're doing today is since we have to start this big sequence of dialogue with way too much to put into it, I decided to break it into beats, into sections, little areas in which a certain specific topic or action is happening. So the first one, I just wrote down what the beats are that I can think of. The first one is, there we go. This one we already wrote. He comes out he finds himself naked in the bedroom, and he goes to find her, and she is there, and she has washed his clothes. And that's as far as we got. And then, so the next thing is, we talked about the fact that the basic guiding action, the driving action of this whole sequence is they do not want to part. They have found themselves forced together by a truly weird set of circumstances, and as a result, they have ended up sleeping together without knowing each other, and now they want to connect. They want to communicate. They want to find a way to get to know each other, but everything in this strange situation is kind of making that difficult. So that's the point of this whole sequence. So with that in mind, I said, first thing that happens is trying to have a excuse to stay together. She wants to make him breakfast. And that will give them time to talk while she prepares breakfast. Then I thought about the subject that I think both of them are thinking, was this okay? Like, was it okay? Like, what happened last night was kind of an impulsive act. Was it okay? And it has to come out to, yeah, it was actually good for them. But I thought one or both of them, this was the funny thing. I thought of this line, but I didn't know which one said it, which is, I feel like I ought to apologize for last night. Actually, you know what? That's her. That's that. And then, which part? So this gets into the discussion of the fact that this is not something she does often. She is not somebody who pops into bed with somebody first date kind of thing, which brings up the fact that it is something he does a lot. In fact, it is his main method of operating with women. Yes, she does get very domestic. I think that's exactly what I was trying to bring there, is that instead of formally talking, she decides to do something which implies care, concern, domesticity. That is actually a very good point. Let's talk about that for a second more. What Maria noticed is you try to come up with behavior and action that expresses the inner desire. You don't do that just because it's symbolically interesting and because you're informing. That's what people do. When they have a feeling, they try to act upon it. Usually they choose some action which will indirectly get them that thing. So in this case, she wants, remember, the point about this scene is they want to be together, but they don't know how because of the freaky situation. Yes, partly it is nervous energy. The other thing is also, let me see if I think I have this somewhere. Yeah, it's give them something to do. Actually, I think I lost this one, but you want to give the actors and the characters something to do in every moment, every scene. Actors love to have something to do, but people do too. People are very uncomfortable. If you ask someone to sit and have a conversation, but they're not doing anything, it puts a lot of pressure on that. So people tend to find things to do while they talk. So that's what got me into the mind of this. Then this is what they talk about for a while. Then I realized that the big question has to come up of, do one of them have to leave? I mean, is there like they both came here sort of at the last minute, like they were called to this house in an emergency situation. So both of them are kind of trying to figure out, like, I don't want to keep you. Do you have to go? Like, you know. I don't want to keep you. Okay, so. And I think that subject actually comes up. Okay, Maria's point, actors are mirrors of people. Okay, I'm going to just venture, actors are actually people. Actors are human beings. Let's despite that great line in The Producers, where Gene Wilder says something like, I can't remember, it's like, you can't kill the guys. Actors are people, and Zero Mostel, the producer, says, have you ever eaten with one? Hello, Roddy. Good to see you. So yes, my point is that this comes up twice. This, like, maybe, people sometimes politely offer to let somebody off the hook, to let them out of a conversation, even though they don't necessarily want it. They want to give the offer because, in a way, it's testing the waters. If they say, hey, I don't want to keep you, and the other person says, no, I'll stick around, it's an indication of exactly that. So I think that happens twice, one at the very beginning and then at the end of the sequence. We also want to talk to her about her past with George, which I thought would be provoked by the fact that they had sex in his bed, and she has not seen him in a long time. So these were the things that were on my mind that we had to get into this outline. So what I started to do was turn these into beats in the outline. That's the deal. So the things that I just talked to, I've put them in here, and then as she preps, they talk a bit. It is not something, it's to his past. So I've got all this material here. Then I realized something. As I was typing this, I suddenly realized something. It's not safe to cook food in this house. We had mentioned this some other time. Somebody had mentioned this a while back. Oh yeah, when she was ordering takeout. So this is the kind of thing that I just added it in here. They can't. So George was poisoned. So I think they go out to a diner, which is really good because we break up the sequence. It's like this. They have a reason to get out of the house. We get to a long conversation over making breakfast, no matter what, is just going to be too long. So cutting the scene into two by having the first half be preparing breakfast and then dumping it and going out to the diner is a good idea. At the diner, they can talk about some other stuff. And then at the end of the diner thing, they don't split up. That is the key. And I think this bit with a past with George would be at the beginning of... okay, so I think this is all... oh, sorry. Yes, okay, we're cutting this to move it. Boop. This would be in the part where they're talking about his romantic past. Then we would also talk about what happened between them, and that would lead to... yes. Okay. Hello, Mally. A question from Maria. Is Norman the type of person that is hopeful about his... No. And there's... this is why it's my job to keep this in my mind. No, he is not at all. He is terrible at relationships. Because he has actually gotten to the point where he expects them to go badly, and so he has given up on the idea of anything except a messy, quick sort of roll in the hay, and then it falls apart. And that's who he is at this point. He is completely given up on the idea of a good relationship. Later, and this was what I had gotten to down here. Madeline is going to point out that he gives up on these problems because he's making these relationships go bad. They don't just go bad. He's making them go bad by choosing badly and by having no faith at the beginning. And so let us move this into the series outline, because this is not going to happen here. Okay. So we're just going to put this here so that I don't lose it. And then this, I'm not sure where this goes. We're just going to move it down here for the moment. Okay, and now I'm going to take a moment to say, hi, Robert. Thank you for commenting. We have not heard from you yet. Oh, wow, that's cool. You watched that whole thing? Holy crap. Okay, yes. Thank you, Robert. I am really, really glad. That's great. Film Courage, the website that has just tons of hold on, let's just. Film Courage does tons of interviews with all sorts of writers and teachers and everybody. They had me in quite a while ago, last spring, I guess. And I did like the way they work it is you do like a 2.5 hour interview with them. They ask you lots of questions, and then they cut it up into little 10-minute bits, and then they release those one at a time. And then at the end of all that, they release the entire monstrous epic thing, which apparently this week they did for me, which was very kind. I know a lot of you first discovered me because of those Film Courage interview bits, because some of them a lot of people watch, which is really cool. I personally at this point cannot bear to look at them anymore. I certainly couldn't sit through 2.5 hours of me talking, but I'm really, really grateful to you guys for doing so. That's very kind of you. And I think I did say some good stuff. I just, there's honestly, the way I'm getting through doing this, because this is not in my nature, I'm actually a relatively introverted person, is I head forward and I care about the thing I have to show you. And I do not think at all about the fact that I am doing it, that I'm showing it to you, or that I am broadcasting my face and voice all the time, which I am not a fan of. Anyway, so the main thing is, thank you, Robert. That's very kind. I'm so glad that you did that. And please, Robert, feel free to ask questions. That's the cool thing. The reason I'm doing this is so that if you've got one reason I'm doing this is so that anybody who's watching at any time over the months and years can click on these things and watch the videos. But I'm doing them live in part so that you guys can ask questions if you have them, because I have no idea what you want to know. All right, so this actually yes, I hope so. That will be fun. All right, so wouldn't he want to leave then because he is going to be tired? Yes, that's the whole point. That this is going to be a little different. All right, so he just puts that out there. He kind of suggests that he, for the first time in a long time, kind of hopes that this will not be a disaster. Yeah. All right. So now somewhere in here, I had a bit about her realizing that she, went too far. That she is thinking about her life differently. Yes. Yes. So, okay, so. Look at that. There we go. Okay, so they don't split up. because she wants to, I don't know where this goes. I'm going to put it all the way at the end. Spare parts. This is something you do. Just if you have something you don't know where it goes, I have a section called spare parts, and I just put it down at the bottom. Okay. Look at that. We have done this. We have got this. Yes, they are bonding over the shared trauma. Exactly. Yes. And hello, this is Kitschy. Hi. Good to see you. Jose, do you follow some kind of structure for the character's arc? Are you using the character outline for this? For that? Yes, I do. I do believe, and this is interesting and worth talking about. This. Yes, I did a video called Building Character Arcs, and I strongly suggest you guys watch it because that talks a lot about this very question, which is coming to think about the character as the character is living their own movie, their own story. They are not thinking, I am a character who needs to do this because this plot needs me to do it. They are trying to accomplish things in their arc. And so, yes, I am exactly doing that. I am here plotting out their two arcs, which at this particular moment is weirdly synchronous. They are actually kind of discovering. The whole point of this sequence is that they are trying to bring their arcs together, that each one is saying, I want to be with this person, and the other one is saying, I want to be with this person, and that is the action of this sequence. So there we go. We have done it. Now I just got to start writing it. You know what I mean? You know, you been there? Let's do this. Let us open up. I'm not going to get very far, but I could at least get into it. So if you recall, he wakes up, he realizes his clothes are missing. He comes out with his pillow in front of him. Let's make pillow capital just to... I threw in the laundry. Okay, so now let's see. Now, the thing is, I don't want to actually show going to the laundry room, getting the clothes out of the dryer, and him putting them on. So I think that what we're going to do here is... what I'm wondering now is, so what we want is a time break, a cut to another room at another time where he has dressed and she is. But what I'm thinking is instead of. I threw him in the washing machine, in the washer. Yeah, see, this makes more sense. So now, there was. I threw him in the washer. What have we done now? Down the hall. And now, so what can happen now is we cut to him. See, one of the things you don't want to do is cut from. Actually, this is tricky. If we cut from her standing there watching him leave, that we're going to cut to her in the kitchen preparing, starting to prepare breakfast, and he comes in dressed. So that I know where we're going. I know that the other side of this cut is going to be Madeline in the room washing. And one of the things you don't want to do, it's just an awkward thing, is to cut from a person standing in one room to a person standing in a different room. It's mentally confusing to have them pop from place to place. It's better that you are on one person and then you cut to another person in another room. So the question is, I don't want to end on her. I don't want to end on her. So he, and he backs out of the room because he's got only one pillow and it's in the front. The thing I'm trying to get to is I would love to suggest actually what I would love to suggest is that she doesn't mind that he turns his back on her naked, but that's too bold. The point is she's feeling awkward. All right. Starts to back Okay, so I am overwriting it, but you know what the heck? Okay, so let me quickly check on what's been going on here in the chat. Unrelated Q. My script is sci-fi and the ships in it are almost like characters in the movie. Yes, okay, cool. Is it okay to get into the details of these ships, just give them names and characteristics? Yes and no. Okay, here's the deal on this. If you are just stopping the script to describe them in detail, that would be as equally ungainly as if you were to stop and spend a page or two describing a character. The way that you get to know the ship, if they are like a character, is as you would with a character, which is you have an initial impression, big, bulky, straw, sleek and pointy, whatever it is, the same as you would describe a character, a couple of sentences, perhaps. And then as the script goes on and the various characteristics of the ships come into play, that's when we get to know that part. You would not stop to introduce a character, even a ship or a person. So the answer is yes, you should certainly give them a name and characteristics, but you shouldn't drop them all in at once as a description. You should let them play out. Those characteristics have to come into play as things that they can do or things that other characters have to relate to them as, like in terms of. Yes, could do that. Okay, so now we're talking about Wheel of Time. Aw, I hope. I've heard mixed things about Wheel of Time. I'm not rushing to it, but I hope actually that even though it can make you less in the things that you're learning about how to write a good script can make you a little intolerant of scripts that have problems. Also, hopefully, you'll learn to enjoy everything for what it's worth. That's the way I approach it. When you are watching something and it's got like clunky dialogue, yeah, maybe if you're watching for pleasure, you'll say, you know what, this is not worth it. But also, you can learn from watching the bad stuff. You can learn what not to do. Anyway, uh, okay. Cool. Yes, you are welcome. All right. All right. Now, this is the kind of thing. Now, I have to say, I am a little. Oh, I overthink this, but I do think it matters. It really matters to directors and producers. Um, Getting into and out of scenes and the transitions between scenes has a real magic to it if you do it right. And one of the things that you want to do is consider having some form of connection or contrast when you end one scene and go to the next. So in this case, I'm doing two interiors in the same house, very close in time. The only thing that's happened is that one person has gone to change their clothes and the other one has gone into the kitchen. So my initial thought was watches him. My initial thought was I wanted to go to Madeline, and so therefore I didn't want to end on Madeline. But you know what? The ending on Madeline is just too good. So I'm going to end on that, and then interior, George's house, hallway, soon after. And now we just have Norman steps out of the laundry room, dressed, buttoning his shirt. Madeline, what I want to say is buttoning his shirt. He follows the sounds of dishes clinking and cabinets opening to find Madeline. To find Cool. That's good. Actually, it's really funny. After I did one of my earliest videos was about exposition, and one of my first videos was exposition. And when my wife watched it, my wife is not a writer, and when she watched it, then for weeks afterwards, when we were watching a movie or show on TV, and there was a big hunk of exposition, she just turned to me and go, "That was exposition, wasn't it?" I'd be like, "Yeah." Anyway, yes, I do. I have lots of thoughts about that. And the main one is, okay, everybody hold on a second. I'm just going to take a second here. Hang on. Gotta do a little bit of downloading. Wait just a second. I think I can do this while you guys are on. Let's find out. Okay, there we go. Thinking scenes. Hey, yes, this. What I can't do is. Oh, there we go. Okay. Look at that. There. Thinking scenes. I made a whole video about it, so that's a biggie. But also, truthfully, any of the essential, like that section on essentials and the section on tools and skills, those sections of my channel that you are watching on, so it should not be hard to find this, screenwriting essentials and then screenwriting's tools, skills, I can't remember what. That's all the good stuff. That's all the lessons. That's all I'm trying to break it down into really useful, concrete pieces. So that's what I would advise. If you are trying to learn from me, go there. Anything I do here is going to not refer necessarily, but become from that. Okay. I have spent paragraphs and... Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. You gotta give it a name. You gotta name the ship. The Nostromo in Alien. Everybody knows that that's the name of the ship. Yeah, you definitely want to make your places and your vehicles, if they are important, have a sense of personality or their nature. Okay, let's get back to writing because that's the job here. Slightly. I'm out. I'm out. I'm way out. I'm way out here. Might as well eat. I'm out. I don't want to put you out. I'm out. I'm way out here. use eggs and waste. Okay, so they're just talking here. They're just talking. That's what you do. You just sort of, what would they say? How would they fill the time? Okay, how much does he know about her? Yeah. Well, what I want to get to is spelling things right. Searching. Why didn't the spell check catch that? No, I want them to get way into this before they realize that. I want them to have something to do to occupy them before this comes up. But I'm trying to figure out how to get, like we've gone too long on the where's the stuff. So is this weird for you? In every possible, is this weird for you? Probably doesn't need to say that, but oh, that's not right. Yeah, we might eventually make George that much of a dysfunctional person. But since I wanted her to be able to cook, at least I want to get her trying. So Oh, it's 3:45. I probably should stop soon. Anybody got any last minute questions? Because I think I'm going to stop here and then get back to this. By the way, this is fairly important. I will actually make a little video about this and post it. But I will not be here the rest of this week. This is for those of you who are not in America. This is a holiday week coming up, Thanksgiving holiday. Whatever you think about the relative rights and wrongs of the taking over of America, it's still a holiday. I got family to see, and so I'm going to be off for the rest of this week. I will see you next Monday. So in the meantime, this has been great. Look, we got how many? We got 2 or 3 pages of writing here. This is good. Yes, he was. I think I actually don't remember either. He eats something, but the point is that he was poisoned by the poisoner planting the poison in his kitchen, so that eventually he would eat the poisoned thing, but it wouldn't be right when the poisoner was there, because that's the modus operandi of the killer. So. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. To you too. To all of you, I say, guys, it's been real, and we're going to get more done. We are making progress, and it is great to have you all here. Go write something.